Greetings, this is Mr. Jesus Lopez again. It is October 1st of the year 2006, approximately 4:04 p.m. Central Time. The way I have been formatting these is just to, in 10 minutes, ask myself a question and then try to see how much I can add to the solution or a possible answer. And today, I don't have any great issues. You know, one of the things with me is I've said it many times, I've written it many times. When I first started doing this, it was just a way to be involved in something where I could offer something to the public at large. I do believe that it is a sad tragedy. That's what when I said I was going to, that I've written about it and I've done video blogs on it, I meant that principal statements. I do believe that it is a sad tragedy that we have all these resources in life. We have such an abundance of information, but we spend our life suffering and muddling through and making a regular big mess for ourselves. The thing when I was thinking about it, pushing myself, so come on, I gotta do a video entry log at least once a day for personal and even financial reasons. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would like to do nothing better than help people for the rest of my life. That's why I studied psychology. And the thing that came to my mind is just how selfish are we? I was reviewing some of the blogs that I had written before, and I came across somebody's comment about an article that I wrote, just a simple article, nothing great, but it was just a response to Terrell Owens. And honestly, I'll be honest with you. I don't see the very big thing of giving this individual so much attention. You know, I don't follow sports, but he was in the news for quite some time before the season started about his antics, his shenanigans, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't, not a way a professional behaves. It's not a way a person who has been given so much money to perform a job, to perform certain responsibilities, should be behaving. And then he has an incident, very serious incident. I always measure my comments because I don't want anybody to get the impression that I'm beating up on people, or that I hate people, or that I'm trying to make things worse for themselves. I have a healthy respect for the challenges and crises that people go through. And I am a firm believer that the majority of the solution is in our hands, these hands. And it's in our mind. I have said before that even though we don't subscribe to God's religion, the God of Abraham, the God of Daniel, even though we don't, God's not sitting there planning your demise. So when things are going wrong in your life, the only person that you can honestly hold responsible for what isn't going right in your life is you. I have yet to meet the person who is doing everything right and everything is going wrong. And for me, life isn't that complicated. You know, I could do the same video entry log every single time. I don't see life that complicated. We work because we have to. The money that we make from work hopefully is paying our mortgage, our rent, groceries. And the reality is that we don't sit there and complain because we have a job that doesn't give us enough to afford our life. We recognize what we need, and then we get motivated, inspired to go work the hours necessary to provide ourselves with the basic needs. We're too complacent, we're too selfish, we're too weak. You know, I meet people every single day that are hustling. Not with college degrees, not with great, I mean, they're just working. And they're putting in their 10, 12, 13 hours, and they're not complaining. And they have excuse me, and they have great A great concept of the value of money. No, money isn't everything, but money pays the rent, money pays the groceries, money pays the utilities, money pays the gas in the car, the insurance, even medical expenses. That should be the case. So the point I'm trying to get to today is really how self-involved are we that we're not willing to look at ourselves realistically and one, see what we do to ourselves, and then by all means we don't see what we do to other people. You know, there comes a time when somebody has to sit us down and say, look, this is who you are, this is your personality type, and this is the outcome of your attitudes and your philosophies and your ideas. For a large part, I see a very negative culture. We have been trained by everything. We have been trained to be negative, to tear everything down, to criticize everything. Nothing has any value. Nothing is worth anything. Let us not believe in anything because nothing has any value. How can you possibly build a life if your head is full of nothing but skepticism, cynicism, negative attitudes? How can you obviously build anything worth anything if you don't believe in anything? See? The reason I use Mr. Terrell Owens, I don't know what happened. He's a very young person starting out his life. He has a lot to look forward to. And I can honestly say I wish him well. I think that if he is suffering, like anybody who is suffering, the best thing to do is understand how much what you're going through is affecting your ability to meet the basic demands of life. If you're unable to meet the basic demands of life, then you need to go outside of yourself and get some assistance. And it isn't hopeless. One of the things, I know this from personal experience, when I get bummed out, one of the things that keeps me from looking at it is that I have to recognize just how horrible I see the thing, whatever it is, work, education, friends, family, whatever it is. But the reality is, it really cannot consume us. It can't kill us. It can't take us. These are just ideas, and we need to stop and look and evaluate things in a very healthy perspective. You know, be realistic about what we can do and what we cannot do. Sometimes we are a little too detrimental, you know, a little too defeatist, a little too, you know, the sky is falling. And we forget to think about that we do have a home, and we do have food, and we do have a place to go work and make money and take care of the financial things of our life. Sometimes, one of the persons that I consider a good friend in life, she was always going on about how her family this and her family that and her family that, and, you know, telling, you know what, as much as you complain for your family, they're there. As much as she complained about her family, they were there. They were there to talk to her. They were there to take an interest, maybe not a healthy interest, but they were there. They were there to offer her money. They were there to come over and check up on her, help her get to work. And I do believe we are our own worst enemies. You know, and I didn't have any concrete, solid statement. I just think we need to look at ourselves realistically and say, are we being real about what we're doing? Are we being mature? Are we being responsible? Are we taking responsibility? Are we setting a healthy goal? You know, again, thank you for listening, and I wish you well.